If you're someone who craves the thrill of off-road adventures, you already know how important it is to have the right bike beneath you. A good trail bike isn't just about getting from point A to B. It's about tackling rugged terrain, conquering steep climbs, and cruising through exhilarating descents with confidence. In this video, we're bringing you the top 6 trail bikes that offer the perfect blend of durability, performance, and cutting-edge features, designed to make your ride smoother and more enjoyable than ever. Whether you're a beginner looking to explore nature or a seasoned pro searching for your next upgrade, we've got something for everyone. From lightweight frames to powerful suspension systems, these bikes are built to handle whatever the trail throws at you. For more details on products, follow the links in the description box down below. So buckle up and let's discover the ultimate machines that will take your outdoor adventures to new heights. Number 6. Santa Cruz 5010 GX AXS RSV. Santa Cruz has tweaked a great deal for the latest 5010, which is now in its 5th incarnation. With 130 millimeters of rear suspension, the 5010 fits in the travel and use gap between the burlier Santa Cruz Bronson and the sprightlier Tallboy, which also features in this guide. The new 5010 frame gets a geometry-adjusting flip chip and Santa Cruz's handy glove box internal storage on the down tube. The head angle is 65.2, 64.9 degrees, depending on which geo setting you choose, which is ideal for this breed of bike. What hasn't changed is the 5010's rapid and rabid riding character, though the latter has been tempered somewhat from the wilder previous version. Spec-wise, the build gets a RockShox suspension combo of a 140mm Pike Select Plus fork up front and 130mm Super Deluxe Select Plus shock. The drivetrain is SRAM's wireless GX AXS, though it's the older version, not the latest T-type transmission. Brakes also come from SRAM with 4-piston G2Rs with 180mm rotors. Everything runs on the excellent Reserve 3 HD carbon rims on Industry 9-1, one-hub shod with Maxxis Minion DHR2 triple compound. Tires with a Max Grip 29x2 in up front and Max Terra 27.5x2 in at the rear. For more on the bike, see the full Santa Cruz 5010 GX AXS RSV review from Guy Steven, but here's his verdict. The new 5010 is a bike that makes you feel like an absolute hero when you point it down your favorite tech trail and let it rip. And that sounds a lot like the definition of the best handling trail bike to me. Number 5. Merida One-Forty 6000. Our technical editor, Guy Steven, seriously rates this shorter travel 140mm travel trail bike that's already picked up a bunch of awards from other testers in the industry too. He's also rave-reviewed Merida's longer travel, higher cost $168,000, and reckons it's one of the best enduro mountain bikes available. Whatever size you opt for, they're all extremely roomy for their size, with our mid-test bike measuring 480mm. That gives you plenty of room to maneuver and helps give a planted feel on the trail. The 150mm Marzocchi Bomber Z1 fork gives a supple front end, but in its default trim. It ramps up at the end of the stroke in a very similar way to the 143mm Travel RockShox Deluxe Select Plus at the rear, so any ugly landings are tidied up neatly once the shock damper is dialed in. Flex stays, rather than pivots, add rear end extra flex too. A super steep 80-degree seat angle and high level of traction from a naturally ground-tracking rear end, combines with a mid-length stem and 65-degree head angle combo, stops the bike from feeling too floppy when you're winching the bike upwards. Add an efficient, seated pedaling feel, and you can climb up ridiculously steep, technical upslopes when you'd be walking or wanting an uplift on a lot of bikes. The only big drawback is the 140's weight, which comes in at around 500 grams more than comparative rivals. In his full Merida One-Forty 6000 review, Guy summed up the bike as one that packages radical hard-riding geometry, smooth suspension plus wheel and travel change potential, and a lot of neat features with super solid, good value kit. It's on the hefty side though, and the seat angle might not agree with everyone. Number 4. Canyon Spectral CF7. Canyon Spectral is a trail bike doing its best enduro impersonation and can continually step up to the job in hand the harder you push. This is down to the properly radical geometry, which can teach any trail that normally terrifies us a lesson in canyon domination. The latest Spectral doesn't look that much different to the last version, but it now has internal storage, adjustable steering stabilization, more consistent sizing, a geo-altering flip chip, and another adjustment specific to the size of rear wheel, 29 in or 27.5 in, you want to run. Last but not least, it gets a subtly tweaked frame and suspension setup for a poppier and more playful ride. The CF7 is the most wallet-friendly version in the Spectral range, but as ever for Canyon, you still get some great kit for the price. Suspension comes from Fox with a 150mm 36 up front. The fork may be the budget-conscious and slightly heavier rhythm version, but it's still a top performer for this price and works really well with the performance-level Fox Float X shock. Gears and brakes are the excellent Shimano SLX, while the wheels are DT Swiss M 1900 shod with Maxxis Minion DHR2 29x2 in Maxterra tires front and rear. The front tire gets EXO sidewall protection, while the rear gets the extra security of EXO. Guy summed up the latest Spectral. This entry-level model of Canyon's evolved all-rounder is a brilliant value, full-feature trail MTB with pop and play for endless days. Number 3. YT Jeffsy Core 4. Direct sales brand, YT Industries, is best known for its gravity bikes, specifically the YT Capra, which is a common sight at uplift venues. The Jeffsy is one step below the Capra in the lineup with a trail rather than purely enduro intention. With 145mm of travel, the Jeffsy still rips on the downhills though. And during our testing, it has proved itself capable of dabbling with everything from flowing single track to enduro trails. The latest version gets a host of frame updates, including a more streamlined design, internal storage in the down tube, a longer reach 495mm on the size large, and more surprisingly, 5mm less rear travel. For this latest model, YT looked to improve the Jeffsy's pedaling manners for more efficient ascents, and the bike definitely feels a more eager climber than its fairly hefty weight would suggest. The designers have also made the shock tune more progressive to prevent bottoming out on big hits. This worked well in testing, and we had no issues with an overly harsh suspension being an unintended result. The brand also has its own online suspension setup calculator, which is a handy resource. While the new Jeffsy is a top choice for the vast majority of trails you'll come across, the internal storage opening is not very long, and it's a bit fiddly to access its contents as a result. The matte black finish on our test bike scuffed up very easily too, so factor in another $100, £100 for a full Invisiframe kit, or go for the gloss finish option. Sizing is smaller than most other brands too, so check the stats on YT's website, and consider going for a bigger frame than usual. Number 2. Specialized Status 140. The Specialized Status 140 proves you don't need to spend a fortune and have more than 6 inches of travel to have an absolute blast. The attack-focused geometry is designed to come in super hard, with the front wheel way out front and the back end tucked as far underneath you as possible. The basic handling dynamic is as close to one of those kids' skid-steer chopper trikes as you'll get. While there's no shortage of stability or stick-it-into turns way harder than seems sane confidence at the front, the super short back end also helps you get the nose off the deck surprisingly easily. The squat back end with chunky double-sided pivots is properly stiff too, so it's really easy to exaggerate the natural difference in turning circles and scrub rates of the front and rear wheels and kick or hip. It offline like a hero. Even the RX trail tune on the shock is pretty tight, so you're getting more mid-travel support to shove through berms on than typically comfort-focused Specialized FSR bikes. The short stroke fork does really well most of the time too, although more aggressive riders or slamlanders will probably want to clip a couple more volume spacers under the airspring top cap to create a more progressive stroke. It certainly doesn't smooth out or roll through jank, as well as a twin 29ER, like the Stumpjumper Evo. And while the steep 76-degree seat angle helps get weight forward over the bars on climbs, the front still wanders all over the place on steep sections, and the short back end doesn't grip as well either. But overall, our tester, Guy Casteven, reported that it is one of the most naturally playful, anarchically agile and responsive trail park bikes I've ridden at any price point. If the trails are tight and/or steep with gaps and pops rather than relentless root and rock mess, it's seriously fast too. Everything from parts pick to stealth aesthetics feels spot on for purpose. Number 1. Specialized Stumpjumper Evo Comp. Specialized offers the Stumpjumper in a huge range of spec, travel options, and in 2 wheel sizes, however. The Specialized Stumpjumper Evo Comp version is a happy medium between cost and components, and is the Goldilocks model for us. The Evo Comp model is made from the brand's Fact 11 carbon, and features 160mm up front and 150mm at the back. The geometry is great, with a really well-centered feel descending and easy poise when climbing. Don't get us wrong, there are bikes out there that climb or descend better, but there aren't many that do both quite so well, and it's finding the balance that makes the Stumpjumper such a great bike. Not only does the Stumpjumper have impeccable ride manners, but Specialized has also packed the Stumpjumper Evo with practical features, including a SWAT storage, with hydration reservoir included, and tunable geometry. It also comes with a full SRAM GX drivetrain, complementary tire combo, and high control brakes. Reviewers said, "It's light and agile enough to be a joy on less techy, pedaling trails or just big days out in the hills, but controlled and calm enough to really push the potential of its radical geometry options. The fact you can play around with big changes to those settings in just a few minutes between runs is a unique and invaluable gift for riders who really like to dig into their dynamics too." This concludes our ranking of the best trail bikes. If you find this video to be useful, kindly press the thumbs up button. Which one will you pick? Fill out the space below with your thoughts. For your time, I'm grateful. Please like and subscribe to our channel if you found this video to be helpful in any way so you won't miss any upcoming stuff. Whoever got this far. When the next video comes out, I want to see you there.